Hello, my name is Joy Curry. I'm a realtor with Zori Realty here in Gainesville, Florida, and I am doing interviews with local female entrepreneurs who have their own stores. So today I'm interviewing Caitlin. She owns Heart Mind Healing in Thornebrook Village. Caitlin, what made you decide to open this beautiful space?
Well, I was really excited to expand from my previous business doing one-on-one energy work, teaching yoga online and in other studios, to now have this space to have more workshops, and specifically shifting from energy healing with Caitlin to heart mind healing. I wanted to make it more of a community space. So this way I have other instructors who come in and are able to share their gifts with the community, and it's becoming really a group effort, which is really lovely energy.
Wonderful. Yeah, I could feel it. It's a very beautiful space. I love all the art. How long have you been here in Gainesville?
I've been in Gainesville for about 4.5 years.
Okay.
I moved here. My husband got offered a job teaching at UF.
Aha.
So that's what brought us here, like I know so many folks.
Yes.
And I've really fallen in love with Gainesville. I started out with rebuilding my business from the bottom up, and to be able to be here in Thornebrook, which was one of my favorite spaces around town, it's really a dream.
I love Thornebrook. It has such a small town feeling.
Yes.
Okay. And what made you kind of answered the question in some ways, but what made you open your own space? I think you had mentioned you were expanding.
Yes. So I started out seeing clients one-on-one in smaller spaces, first out of my home and then renting one room.
Okay.
And my classes were primarily online, which dovetailed nicely with the height of the pandemic when everything was online. However, I truly believe yoga is really a community act, and it's very important even to the nervous system to be moving in sync with people around you. And you get a much different element of that with an in-person class versus online. And of course, technology is fantastic. It's also true that you can't really duplicate that in-person feeling.
I would agree. I love yoga, and I love yoga classes. It's much better. I can do yoga in my house with Adriana on YouTube, but doesn't come any closer to having a teacher talking and oming and all the other beautiful stuff.
Yeah, just moving with other people moving in the same way around you. It's wonderfully regulating to the nervous system.
We need each other on
Yeah.
a very deep level.
So maybe we'll see you in class soon.
Sounds wonderful. And how long have you been doing yoga and meditation and all these different types of modalities?
So full time, about 7.5 years. I left my full-time career and went fully into this. I used to work in bank regulation, which was a very high stress industry. And so that's what introduced me to the tools. And I did them in tandem for a little while. And now I'm really excited to be spending my days working with this energy.
That makes perfect sense, because I could already tell you're a very detailed, on top of it person. Hey,
it works.
Yeah, as a business owner, we have to be in some
sure
ways.
do.
You got to know what's going on. And could you share about an experience that you had with a client where you really wowed them or made their day?
Well, this had me giggling all the rest of yesterday. Yesterday I had a new client, and he laid on the treatment table, and as soon as I got started with the energy work, which is so hard to explain to people, he goes, I can feel the energy. And I was like, yeah, you can. And a few minutes later he goes, no, I can really actually feel it. And I was like, yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's always really exciting to get that feedback from my clients.
Cool. Awesome. And what about this business is challenging?
So many elements. Scheduling things, taking other people's schedules into account. I want to be able to offer a wide range of days and times so that people with a variety of schedules can come. So recently we added 2 new mindful movement classes.
Okay.
And they're Monday and Wednesday mornings for moms of littles who can't always make evening classes. So they can come while the kiddos are in school, And then we have classes in the evenings, long weekends for folks with a more traditional Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 schedule.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I know how much it's so nice to get away from your kid and do something that there's no kids involved.
Yes.
Where do you see yourself being in 5 years?
I would love to still be here in Thornebrook, and I would love to really see Thornebrook thrive the way it used to back in the day. I haven't been in Gainesville that terribly long, but so many people tell me stories of what Thornebrook used to be like, and being able to see those little glimmers throughout my time here. We just redid all of the landscaping, so it really looks beautiful. We've added benches, so there's more seating, and we've been having monthly events. So I hope to still be here supporting others and creating healing spaces throughout Gainesville.
Okay, yeah, there's some long-term businesses here.
Definitely.
So I love Thornebrook. It's a beautiful place.
Mm-hmm.
What is the best book you've read about business? Or let me rephrase that. How do you learn about how to conduct business? Are you a YouTuber, a TikToker, a book reader?
Podcasts, books, and different online webinars. I also am a member of the Gainesville Area Women's Network, and they have a monthly luncheon with an educational speaker most of the time. So last week we had a speaker on what it means to lead like a woman.
Ooh.
And talking about the differences in the way women communicate versus men. Of course, this is all general, stereotypical. There are differences, but being able to take in some of that information and learning from other really awesome, like you said, female entrepreneurs. We have a lot of amazing women in Gainesville, and I'm just grateful to be part of it.
Me too. All right, what would be your biggest inspiration for this shop and for what you're doing now?
Just being able to create those spaces, seeing people come in feeling stressed, with their shoulders up here, and leave feeling better. One of my long-term yoga students, she tells me that this is one of the spaces where she feels safe to feel emotions. So sometimes near the end of a class, she'll just, take a beat, feel what she's feeling, and being able to create a space where it's safe to feel is so important to me.
Because us as women, we have so many emotions.
Well, everyone does. It just depends on how you process them, how you release them, or not.
That's true. I don't think men I don't know. They just don't seem to have near the emotions that women do.
Well, it's not as socially acceptable for them to show them.
Very
so
true.
I think that's one of the issues.
I would agree. What would be your biggest takeaway when it comes to having your own business?
It's not all fun and games. This has been more work than I ever would have seen in my life. And so I've worked harder than I ever expected, and it's been so worth it. So there have been many days where I'm just, bone tired, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to keep chugging along, and it gives me life at the same time. So it's a mix.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah, definitely being kind to the other business owners and knowing that we're all doing the best we can.
That's true. All right. Looking back, let's just say if you were to look back and say you were where you are now, what would you have said to yourself 2 years ago, knowing what you know now?
Buy toilet paper. No, so just really taking time to find that balance, making sure to work on the business as well as working in the business, which I think is a big struggle for a lot of entrepreneurs. So finding ways to get processes in order. That's one of my current big things, is getting things organized. For many years, it was very reactive. Okay, we're pivoting. We don't know what's coming next. And so taking that breath and going, okay, we've arrived here. Let's get our ducks in a row.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
People don't really realize the amount of processes and systems and how much easier life is with good systems.
Yes, makes it easier to duplicate, to repeat versus creating it from scratch each time.
Very true. Now, what type of services do you offer? What type of classes do you offer? And where would people find you? I know you're in Thornebrook.
So our website is heartmindgnv, like Gainesville.com. and you can find a link to our schedule there. I do one-on-one energy healing. We also have weekly mindful movement classes, gentle yoga, chair yoga, so perfect for folks who aren't comfortable getting down on the ground. Also qigong, belly dancing, and mindful muscles, which is taught by a physical therapist.
What would mindful muscles be?
So mindful muscles, she uses some free weights, and it's a lot of yogic breathing. So you're really checking in with the body, a lot of body awareness. So if you're not used to working with your muscles and you're worried about injuring yourself, it's a really great class to just move slowly.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Month to month, our offerings change. I usually offer a singing bowl sound bath. We have tarot classes and workshops for folks who want to learn how to read for themselves and others. And just a variety of local artists and healers who host different workshops here. But all of those are on the website, heartmindgnv.com.
Fantastic. It's always nice to have a space where you can host something, because those of us who want to we don't do it for a business, but we want to do it for a side hustle or bring it to the world.
Mm-hmm. And that was one of the spaces that I was in before finding this space. Because I was constantly looking for outside spaces, and it's tricky to find exactly what you're looking for. So I love being able to be one of those spaces.
Awesome. So people can rent it if wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you offer, how do you, if I was wanting to do an event here, or, just let's just say sound bowls. I don't do sound bowls, but if I wanted to do sound bowls here, how would that happen?
So they would reach out to me. We'd see if it's a good fit energetically, because energy and intention are so important in this space. And so we have a couple ways that we can do it. Sometimes folks will just rent the space and do their own thing. And most of the time it's a workshop that we are hosting. And so we would promote it, take ticket sales and all of that, and then just pay the instructor at the end of it.
Okay. So you can also handle all that if needed.
Yes.
Okay.
But so reaching out to me would be the first step, and seeing if we're a good fit.
Fantastic. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. The Heart Mind Healing in Thornebrook Village, owned by the beautiful Miss Caitlin.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.